and then there was only one. Hello everybody, today we're going to start with the penultimate episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard. So we start with Spanner trying to fix the driver to no avail, as he remembered what Giege told him of his little black flame. Wondering about that, and Lachesis finds him after getting a lift from Kyoka of the places that he could be, which is pretty nice to have Kyoka as the mother for Spanner, knowing where he is. As Spanner tells her that his driver is based on the fire Gotchard igniter thing, so he can't really fix it that well, and also can't handle his full power. And we see Geryon use the Philosopher's Stone inside of him to make a new Chemi card, a little fraction 1% called El Dragon, which is just Spanish for the dragon, which is just a black and gold Nichigon, and he needed for his own plan. And then we have the intro, and surprisingly the intro doesn't have Twilight Midget, so that's a little missed opportunity. After that, we see people running from an Anomolocaris amalgam. And it's actually the same actor who is actually the criminal all the way back from episode 32. It's the one in the episode where Kloto gets the episode gear at the end. You know, the start of the legend arc. And it's just played by suit actor Hiroyuki Muraoka. Pretty much butchered that name, so sorry. As the gang arrived to stop the amalgam and tried to rescue the people that were created by Galia as the last little present. And for some reason, Rina can't transform at all, with just saying that she's out of power from last episode, which I just call BS, that's not actually possible at all. I think they wanted an excuse for Hotaro to transform alone. Which he does, he transforms immediately to Rainbow to fight. And surprisingly, people just gather around the fight to see what's happening. As Hotaro says that something's up, that he's not using his full power at all, which is just weird. I guess it's got something to do probably with El Dragon being born, or something like that, but still doesn't really matter as he just defeats the amalgam. And he goes to check on a little girl who's crying, but I'm gonna get her mother comes in, tell him to stay away, to not touch his daughter, as he just pushes Hotaro away and grabs his daughter, saying that she doesn't trust the alchemist or the Kamen Rider at all. As the crowd around them chime in, saying that it's true that they blame our gang for the amalgam being created and want to get rid of all the Chemi. And surprisingly, Sawa and her dad, all the way back from the X-Rex episode, tell the crowd that that's not true, and the Chemis are not bad at all, and that they actually helped them out in their situation. And we even get Kajiki and Seina. Yeah, Seina, the little Hotaro childhood friend, all the way back from the Romeo and Juliet episode, for episode 30 or something like that. Also arrived, telling them that the gang helped them out, as well as keeping the world safe, and to have faith in them. Which at least make the crowd a little bit calm down. But then Tachan comes in to rile up the people again, saying that Chemis are dangerous. And we let the people just start to attack our gang, and as well as our friends, because Sawa and her dad, as well as Seina and Kajiki, come in to at least protect our friends and try to stop the crowd from getting any closer to them. And Hotaro becomes worried about his dream of human and Chemi coexisting, and this is the result. As the gang decides to flee along with our little friends. So at least pretty glad that at least the cameos and guests at least try to help out our gang. We see Lachesis and Spanner in the warehouse again and asking her about becoming human. And Lachesis says that she's close to the final stages. As Giege arrives to taunt Spanner for losing his fight and to join him for power, or in order to control his little black flame. As Spanner refuses and uses the Valvarad sword to transform into regular Valvarad in order to fight against Gigist. And we still cut back to the gang hiding from the crowd as Hotaro worried about his home and decided to go check it out. And he does so, arriving home to see nobody there and the lights turned off, except for Geryon. And he pretty much starts to get concerned and worry what he's done to his mother and what he's doing in that situation. They finally have a proper conversation one-to-one between each other, which is pretty nice. I like to have our main hero and main villain actually have a talk. Of course, it happened in the penultimate episode, but better late than never. And they try to talk about their conflicting dreams, as Hotaro doesn't actually believe that turning people to gold that Geryon doing will actually bring happiness. And Geryon argued that humans love gold as it's actually eternal and it shines forever compared to humans' life and value, who don't actually shine at all and just waste time trying to find purpose in their little lives until the very end, and when it all just crumbles away. Which is why they say that they like gold. And Hotaro says it's not true at all. Human life is valuable. As Geryon says he found someone who is a lot of value for Hotaro and just snuffed the light out of it. And Hotaro actually grabs his color, which actually makes him angry, really angry, which of course he should be. He's worried about what he done to his mother. It's actually pretty good by the actor, actually, Junsei. I think he did a pretty good job in this scene for Hotaro being angry against Geryon. But thank goodness that Hotaro's mom actually walks in, showing that she's okay. And she's pretty much thinking Geryon is a customer, But Giege just said that he thanks Hotaro for helping him out and just leave. We see Spanner fight Gigist. It's a really cool one-take fight scene. Like, it's really cool to see him actually fight against Gigist with all he's got. But it doesn't really help at all as he just failed because it is a weaker version of Valvarad. As Giege easily defeats Spanner, and Lachesis tried to transform into her own version of Valvarad, you know, the one with the green thing on the eye. But before she can actually finish the transformation sequence, Giege just stops her by blasting her, injuring her arm. And it's a shame that she doesn't transform at all because I really wanted her to transform. As Spanner summoned Mad Wheel to help them escape, and we cut back to Hotaro and his mom talking about Geryon, as she's wondering if he's related to his passion and dream that he's doing right now. And Hotaro gets a call from the rest of the gang, telling them where Spanner and Lachesis are. They got a message that they're being under attack by Gigist. He decided to leave to help them out, and promises to tell his mom everything when he gets back and leaves, and his mom tells her that he'll be waiting there for him. While that's happening, Lachesis is being tended by Spanner, and she's actually bleeding blood now, showing that she's actually becoming more human than ever. As Spanner asks what she will do once she's human, as he tells him that he'll just have to find out. I like it they want to help her sister out in order to become human. It's pretty much showing that she is becoming more selfish. Well, you know, it's just pretty much more human-like. That's pretty nice to see. But then Cloto comes in, wondering how she got there, but whatever, telling them that it's too late, Atropos is dead. I like it actually knows already, so I'm gonna get that she's gonna happen like the last episode where Cloto actually felt Atropos die. I'm gonna get the same thing happen to Lachesis, that she also felt her die. Cloto cries, just wanting the three of them together. Gigist arrives, saying that he empathizes with them. And does a weird little editing, little jump scare, like he just pops in and out with the editing. I think it's a pretty weird decision, but at least it's cool enough, I guess. I tell them their dreams are not real compared to humans. Pretty much just insulting them. Cloto transforms to Thread Type 2 in order to fight Gigist, but pretty much fails as she's instantly teleported to a beach. So yeah, she's not dealing with that at all. Lachesis is prepared to transform, but Spanner stops her, and I'm just mad because I wanted her to transform and fight. But I digress, he transformed to regular Valvarad again, using the 2 Valvarad sword to fight against Gigist. But pretty much fails at that as well because he just gets knocked away easily. And even with the black flames he has on the sword, it leaves no scratch on Gigist, which makes sense considering Gigist is now stronger now compared to last time. He did absorb half of the stone fragment from Gallia. And after he's knocked down and actually gets out of the transformation, Gigist engulfs him by his own black flame in order to burn Spanner up. And Lachesis is worried over him, and Spanner pretty much accepts that this is the end of the line for him. I'm actually seeing inside the black flame, kind of like inside his mind, right, somewhat. And he said that he saw the flames as evil, and it pretty much caused him so much harm to him and his loved one. And he just wanted it to end this power once and for all in order to try to use it against Gigist, in order to end him and himself, to keep everybody safe. But I remember Hotaro's word from their fight all the way back in like episode 46 or 47, somewhere around that line. And Hotaro just wants him alive, as his dream is to have coexistence between human and Kemi, and it won't happen without Spanner there. And he pretty much just gets up in a pretty obvious green screen. Like you can see where the actor got cut off in the green screen in the black flame. It's pretty funny in retrospect. And he pretty much said that they will never agree with their method or their path, but he just can't stop seeing Hotaro's stupid little face, full of hope and dreams for his ideals to become reality. That Spanner can't really hate it at the end of the day. And he brushes away the flames, shocking Gigist. As the gang arrive, as he and Kyoka share a little nod, which is pretty nice that we don't need any dialogue between Kyoka and Spanner, that they just nod at each other knowing what they need to say. I tell Gigist what he said about all the way back from a couple episodes ago about brighter the light, the darker the abyss. But the darker the abyss, that means the brighter light column means that the light will become the brightest that can ever be compared to the black flame. And he uses that statement to turn the black flames into type of white or silver color. I'm gonna go with silver. It kind of looks silver. And he says that the silver flames to him are infused by his parents and Kyoka's dreams and aspirations, as well as Hotaro, which is Hotaro just shocked that he's actually just happy to be included. As he'll say that he used these flames for good and uses them to create a new driver, which is a new Valvarad driver with a really cool design of having like a silver Valvarad on the driver when the little top half. It looked pretty cool. I really like the driver. And he uses Mad Wheel and Oni, which turns silver and white. Which is pretty cool to see as even the car changes into an electric car. And he finally upgraded from the race car to electric. It's pretty cool to see how it keeps changing. I placed both of them in the driver in order to transform into its final form, Valvarad Kurogane, and the 2 Valvarad swords go to its back. and the name is just printed on the screen and on the driver. But it's pretty cool to see. And honestly, the suit looks cool with its silver color. I will say a little disappointed, a little bit just a repaint for the most part, but I will say that not too much, that there's some detail different from the Valvarad suit and the Kamen Rider Valvarad. The final form actually could use a little bit more purple. It only has purple on one of the eyes. It had a little effect on it to make it look like it's targeting and locking in on combat. Looked pretty cool to see. And also the jingle is pretty nice. I do like the little standby. The standby jingle is pretty good, and I actually like some of the transformation jingle. I do like that it actually uses the 2 swords for it. I'm wondering why Lachesis is gonna do with a sword, but you'll see why. It is a nice suit overall. And pretty interesting that whenever it moves, it makes some sort of robotic sound. Kind of similar to like the sound you hear from like Iron Man from the Marvel movies. And everybody is shocked in his new form. Hotaro wants to join the fight, but Spanner stops him. And he tells him that this is his fight, which is pretty good. That, yeah, it is his fight against Gigist. That they had the little rivalry student-teacher thing, that it should be his fight to end. And he actually analyzes Gigist's attack and continues the Iron Man comparison and actually makes a repulsor blast from his hand, shooting Gigist's little blast. So yeah, he's pretty much an Iron Man, even including with the sound effects. And they fight Giege. There's a really cool fight scene, having the 2 Valvarad swords infused with a silver fire, and just burning away Giege, even throwing him around. It's really cool to see. At first, Giege is shocked, but then he actually realizes something different, and say that it all makes sense why Spanner is like this. And it's pretty cool to see that he's not actually truly angry compared to Galileo or Geryon. He actually is proud of Spanner. He can say that he is the next evolution for the Black Flame. As Spanner prepares his rider kick by kicking his 2 swords into Gigist, which is pretty cool to see, and then jumping up and kicking both of the swords. It's a pretty cool rider kick, as Gigist congratulates Spanner as his successor and finally died in an explosion. It's really cool to have this fight scene, really cool to see the kick, and pretty cool that Gigist actually isn't angry of Spanner. And he's just happy that Black Flame's teaching is going to be passed on to the next generation now, with more power. So even in the end, he still technically understood humanity to a fault. I'm really glad that he's not actually crying for evil or any of that. He just wanted to see what his next evolution could be. So it's pretty cool to see how Giege goes down. Everybody cheered for him as Kloto arrives injured, so I guess he got out of the beach somehow that quickly, but I digress. Like I said, also happy for Spanner. But then they all hear El Dragon cry out, and it comes in, shocking everybody that it's actually a black and gold Nichigon. And they go into the fire where Giege was, and just take the Philosopher's Stone that was inside Giege. And everybody tried to catch him and fail until Lachesis does. And a little happy moment that she actually found and actually grabbed the black Nichigon. But then she just blasted by Geryon in the back, shocking everybody as she falls to the ground as El Dragon goes to Geryon. And he said that he's just happy to get rid of his final doll, and then just tells them that he can do whatever to the remains, which is just, a jerk thing to do. Screw you, Geryon, you're the worst. I like that you're the worst, but still, you're the worst. So yeah, everybody just getting angry by Geryon, especially Kloto of all. Which makes sense because she is the sister of Lachesis. Lachesis crying over her situation as Spanner runs up to her. And Geryon says he has all 99% of the Philosopher's Stone from all the 3 kings. And only 1% of it left from Nichigon. And he said that he finally able to make his dream of El Dorado become a reality. And Spanner tried to stop him, but then Geryon just blasted him, saying that he won't even have a chance to just leave. And Spanner continued to try to follow him, but then Lachesis calls out for him as he arrived to her side again in her final moment. But it's pretty nice to actually see this little scene, and it's actually a pretty nice scene as Spanner holds on to Lachesis, and there's a pretty nice sad music in the background, and she finally tells him what she wanted to do when she became human. The first thing she wanted to do was to fall in love, as she fantasized this dream of her and Spanner going on a date. It was actually a little bit saddening to see, showing that her actually without the makeup and the clothes, making her actress look normal, and showing that they were actually enjoying their time together. And they do the most scandalous thing ever, according to the anime community. They decide to hold hands. Really, the most scandalous thing ever. But still, all joking aside, it is a pretty sad thing. It's pretty sad to see them hold hands, and it's never gonna happen. As she dies in her arms, or dreaming about this. Everybody cried from her passing and is saddened by it, as it's a nice detail of Spanner putting her little veil on her face to cover her up, kind of like what you do in funerals or when somebody passes. And pretty much tells her to her lifeless corpse that she was never a doll, that she was a human being just like them, and carries her away. And everybody is pretty much devastated, including Kloto as she tried to leave, as he just continued to walk away as the screen turned to black. ending the episode. Oh wait a minute. There's a minute left. Well, why there's a minute left? It was actually a pretty nice way to end it. Okay, after the black screen, we see the golden cube from Geryon become big and in the sky. And I guess some time passes and the gang fight Geryon on the top of a building. And he's been waiting for them. And he uses the 3 stone fragments of the 3 kings to make a new driver called the Eldorado driver. Which is pretty cool. Just a red little dread driver with some details on it. And it's pretty cool that we actually have the golden cube on one of the side of the driver. Pretty nice attention to detail, if I do say so myself. As El Dragon turns into a car, and Geryon places it inside the driver, as a big El Dragon appears in the background, kind of like Nichigon. As Geryon does an invert of Hotaro pose with the hand and just puts him up to his face, as he says Henshin in order to become a new Kamen Rider, with El Dragon doing a golden breath to transform into Kamen Rider Eldo. Yes, Eldo. The suit looks really cool. I like the next evolution of Kamen Rider Dorado from the movie. And I do like the little teeth on it. I like that on the helmet. I really like that. And then the chest is just a kickback of X-Rex form from this season, because you can tell where it actually is popping out. I do like Jingle. I do like the transformation. I do like that the transformation Jingle actually has some different language. I don't know what language that is. You can tell me down in the comment below what it is. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm only gonna assume probably Aztec language or something, because he keep talking about El Dorado. I'm gonna get something with Aztec language. The suit looks cool. I like the suit. I like how gold it is. Could be a little bit more red, or black, but still pretty cool to see. As he revealed a little present with a little white cover behind him, and he showed Minato turning into gold, shocking everybody at the episode end. Overall, this was a pretty nice episode. I would say I do have some complaints. Like, I ain't gonna complain that Lachesis never transformed in the episode. And I kind of wanted her to transform at the end, because it is her final episode. I kind of wanted her to transform in order to finish her story arc and cap off her story. But we never got it, which is a shame, because I really wanted that. I will say that Banner getting a new form, it's pretty late in the game, and it gets kind of weird with the pacing, but I will say that it's pretty nice. We actually have a final form. Speaking of pacing, as you saw from my review, I feel like the episode should have ended around Banner taking Lachesis' body, and it actually is a nice fade to black. And then it's just gonna have a little preview of the episode of Geryon turning into Kamen Rider Eldo, ending the episode there. And then we could start the final 1 minute scene, start at the beginning of the next episode. Because I feel like the pacing was a little bit weird at the end. I'm not complaining too much, but it is something I would actually want to point out, that it just felt weird to me. I would say that Giege actually being defeated is pretty cool, and I'm actually glad that he didn't actually cry out in terror or any of that. Instead, he just accepted his fate and actually just happy that somebody actually evolved his Black Flame. So I guess that story arc a little bit over, but still, could have used a little bit more from Gigist and all that. I will say that the people actually being angry at the writers and alchemists are probably going to change their tone next episode when they get invaded by the Dread Army and all that. Nothing much to say. I do think it's a little weird, the humanity like that, the people like that, this late in the game. Also having other characters like Sana come in, like, come on, I kind of wanted her to do something more than just a little 2 episodes, the Romeo and Juliet. I thought that she's going to do something more in this episode, but doesn't. She's just there, saying one line, and then go to the background in the episode. A little disappointing, a little missed opportunity. Overall, at least this is a nice episode, but could have used a little more rewrite, especially since this is the penultimate episode. We'll have to wait and see. Rating wise, I give it a 7.2 out of 10. What do you guys think? Do you like the episode or do you not? What do you think about Giga's defeat as well as Spatter's final form? Also, what do you think about this episode leading up to the final, as well as Geryon's little plan, as well as Lachesis' death? I will say that it's pretty saddening. Could have used a little bit more time, but still pretty sad, pretty effective. Leave a comment down below and subscribe for more Kamen Rider content, specifically Kamen Rider Gotchard. Peace.